endless glory. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ, King of endless glory. A clean heart create for me, O God. Give me back the joy of your salvation. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ, King of endless glory. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. There was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem at the sheep gate a pool called in Hebrew Bethesda, with 5 porticos. In these lay a large number of ill, blind, lame, and crippled. One man was there who had been ill for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been ill for a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to be well?" The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool where the water is stirred up. While I am on my way, someone else gets down there before me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your mat, and walk." Immediately the man became well, took up his mat, and walked. Now that day was a Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who was cured, "It is the Sabbath, and it is not lawful for you to carry your mat." He answered them, "The man who made me well told me, 'Take up your mat and walk.'" They asked him, "Who is the man who told you, 'Take it up and walk'?" The man who was healed did not know who it was, for Jesus had slipped away, since there was a crowd there. After this, Jesus found him in the temple area and said to him, "Look, you are well. Do not sin any more, so that nothing worse may happen to you." The man went and told the Jews that Jesus was the one who had made him well. Therefore, the Jews began to persecute Jesus because he did this on a Sabbath. The Gospel of the Lord. As we reflect on the words of the prophet Ezekiel and the experience that is recounted in the reading today, we might do well first to think back to Noah and the rising waters of the flood. You know, think of that, when water is at foot level, that's not bad, you can walk through it. When it gets up to your knees, and then when it keeps rising, my thought automatically is, this is danger, this is trouble, this is flood water. It's destructive, and get out of there. But here, the tenor is entirely different. The water it's ankle deep, it's now knee deep, up to the waist, and then I couldn't even wade. It gets higher and higher, but it all as it were the water of life, because this water is going to make fertile all this land, and the plants will grow and people can feed off it. So this rising water of the water of Ezekiel is not the waters of the devastating flood, but rather the waters of life that flow from the temple of God. And Jesus, near that temple in Jerusalem, not too far from it, is at the pool of Bethesda, water again, which is healing water at certain times if you can get there, as the sick man, the paralyzed man, was not able to do. And so Jesus simply tells him then, stand up and walk. And in that, I think he shows us that it is not so much the water itself. It isn't as if the water has magical curative powers in itself. It is the will of God, the will to heal, that is manifest through those waters and expressed, so to speak, sacramentally in them. That it is the decision of Christ to heal that it is at work in those waters. But then, of course, it's not magic either. Because Jesus says to him, take up your mat and walk, and the decision is his. He doesn't pick him up and force him to walk. He invites him to walk. And then the decision is his as to whether he will do that or not. And so it is again and again for you and me, I think, when we have this feeling that we can't make it on our own, that no one will come and help us to get there, and so we just resign ourselves to 38 years of the same thing, kind of lamenting ourselves, so to speak, that the word that Jesus meets us and says, take up your mat and walk, and the choice is ours.